Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be my October wrap up. Mostly, I'm going to go ahead and exclude the books that I read for the books in the freezer readathon. That was the first 2 weeks of October. I already posted a video talking about those books. So these are going to be the books that I read mid-month on. First one I want to talk about is one that I listened to on Audible. That's Pet Sematary by Stephen King. I started that one the beginning of the month and it took me all month to get through it. I really liked it, but it was a difficult book for me, being that it's mainly about death and loss and grief. And I lost my mom this year, and so some parts of the book were pretty just kind of gut-wrenching for me. There were scenes in there about the parents going through the loss of their son and how horrific that was, and it just brought up a lot of bad emotions for me, so it was really difficult. That being said, I love the book. If you saw the movie, it's basically exactly like the movie. The only difference is Judd has a wife in the book who's not in the movie, but she's not that big of a character in the book, kind of a side character, so it doesn't really make a difference. But yeah, if you've seen the movie, you know exactly what the book is about. So yeah, anyway, I would probably give it 4.5 stars out of 5. It's really good. The next one I read was a pick for Spooktober, and that's The Halloween Tree by Ray Bradbury. I loved this book also. It's short, it's sweet, it's very Halloween-y. I loved the friendship between the kids in the book, their relationship with each other. I loved Pip in this. I just thought it was a really cute, super Halloween-y type read, and I would definitely recommend this one, except for people who don't like poetic type writing. He has a very poetic style of writing. I like that. That's how he wrote Fahrenheit 451, and I really enjoyed that book and that type of writing. My daughter happens to be reading Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury right now, and she is not a fan of the poetic type writing. It's very whimsical. So yeah, if you're not a fan of that style of writing, you might not enjoy his books, but I like it. So I would give this one, again, a 4.5 stars out of 5. Next one is Doorbells at Dusk, edited by Evans Light. This is a horror short story collection. It's huge on Booktube right now. Everybody's reading this. It is absolutely fantastic. There's one story in particular that kind of scared the bejesus out of me. It's called Rusty Husk, and it's about scarecrows. I was never scared of scarecrows my entire life until last year. I watched Annabelle Creation, and Annabelle herself does not scare me, but there was a scene in the movie involving a scarecrow, and ever since I saw that scene, I am pretty terrified of them. But in the story, it's not really the scarecrows you have to be scared of, it's people. And it was pretty darn terrifying. It was my absolute favorite story in the whole book. It was fantastic. You should definitely get this book if you like scary stories. I highly recommend it. I would give it 5 out of 5. Next one is another winner for me. This is The Man in the Picture, a ghost story by Susan Hill. Susan Hill wrote The Woman in Black, which is one I read last year. Absolutely loved it. She writes ghost stories like nobody else. I absolutely love her writing. I'm gonna read everything this woman writes. She writes in like gothic style to where you would think she's writing back in like the 1800s or something. But she's not. She's still alive, but she has this ability to write as if it's like an old gothic tale. This story is very short. It's a novella. I actually switched this one out for another one. I needed a haunted story, or a story like with a haunting in it, and the book that I had picked for Spooktober actually wasn't a haunted story, so I switched it out for this one, and I'm so glad I did. So this one is basically about an old professor who lives at Cambridge University in England, and he has this painting of a scene in Venice, like a carnival scene in Venice. And there's something very off and creepy about this scene, and he wants to explain the story of the painting to, he used to be a former student of his, to get like some of this information off of his chest. I can't tell too much about this story without really giving a lot away because it's so short. There's just a lot packed into it. But if you like haunting, chilling tales, if you liked The Woman in Black, if you read anything by Susan Hill, you definitely should pick this one up. It's amazing. 5 stars. All right, then I picked up this one. Again, this was a Spooktober choice. I was trying to be on the team for Corpse Brides, which is Zariah's team. And so I got this book specifically for those challenges. I needed a book with a dress on the cover and a book featuring a bride, and this had both. It's Edgar Allan Poe tales, annotated, and it's just a bunch of stories that have women in them. I gotta say, I did not finish this one. I read 3 stories, didn't like any of them, and put this book down. I've read a lot of Poe stories and poems. I have other books of his works, and for some reason, these stories did not feel like his writing at all. It felt like someone else was writing these stories. They didn't come across as Poe writing. And they were highly confusing, all over the place, and I just did not like them. So I didn't finish this book, so I guess I didn't turn out to be a corpse bride. So yeah, that's my failure of the challenge, and I don't know what I would rate this book because I didn't finish it, but I'm not interested in it. Okay, this is the last one that I read for Spooktober, and this also could have been a haunted tale. I didn't realize this was like a ghost thing when I started it. I didn't know a whole lot about this story, but there definitely are ghosts in it. I feel like everybody has read this book or knows a lot about this book, so I won't go into much detail, but I will say that this book was kind of iffy for me. I was super excited to pick this one up because Grady Hendrix also wrote My Best Friend's Exorcism, which I read last year and loved it, so I was really looking forward to this one. But this one really did not compare. I feel like I really liked the first half of the book a whole lot more than I liked the second half. The premise, the idea behind this story is fantastic. It's something I don't think anybody has ever done before. It's a very original story. It's just that the story went in ways that I was not thrilled about in the end. So yeah, I don't want to give too much away about this one either. I would recommend it. It's still a really good read. It's entertaining, but it's just not what I was hoping for, I guess. I think my expectations just were super high based off of My Best Friend's Exorcism. So yeah, I think I would give this one 3 out of 5 stars. Okay guys, I know I'm super late with this video. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, let's move on to other things in November. So I hope you all did great with your October reading and you're enjoying the books that you're reading this month. What was your favorite book that you read in the month of October? I think mine was probably this one. Amazing. Anyway, I hope you all are doing great and I will see you all soon. Bye.